Alrighty, I'm back. I hope you are sharing the link. So today we have Mr. Christopher Kegu with us. And before I introduce him, let's just remind ourselves why we are here this very afternoon. So if you check your time, it's 5 minutes after 3. If you are joining us from all over the world, this is GMT. So today we'll be discussing AI and machine learning, transforming business operation and its effect on unemployment. So on employment as well, sorry. So please, wherever you are, you're welcome. This is Ghana India Kofi Annan Center of Excellence in ICT. My name is Steve. I'll be your very host. So let me just give you a profile of our experts joining us today. So he is Mr. Christopher Kegu. He's a software engineer, currently a member of the faculty at the Ghana India Kofi Annan Center of Excellence in ICT. His area of expertise is in AI and machine learning, mobile and wireless computing, and big data and analytics. He has conducted several successful software and digital development assignments for a wide range of clients in the public, private, and intergovernmental sectors with varying business sizes and structure. He has vast experience in web application development, data-based implementation, AI and machine learning software and processes, proven abilities in the provision of AI consultancy service for a number of organizations, specifically for the ECOWAS, UNDP, World Bank, TEMA Development Corporation, National Buffer Stock Company, Community Information Center in Ghana, Savannah Accelerated Development Authority, that's SADA, which is now called the Northern Development Authority, but not to mention a few. He has in-depth knowledge and understanding of the IT solution needs of his clients. His other professions include specialized program on big data analytics at Center for Development of Advanced Computing, Indian and diploma in business computing at Advanced Information Technology Institute, which is the Ghana India Kofi Annan Center of Excellence in ICT. He has spent over 6 years at the Soft Page Data Systems as an application developer, where he worked in a team to develop a microfinance management software and a school management system using VBNet, Crystal Reports, and SQL Server for SDA Senior High School. You're wondering why I'm reading so many on this, so that you have an idea of who our expert is. So Mr. Kegu has been involved in numerous of IT projects from the Kofi Annan Center of Excellence, and which include the World Bank Ghana Digital Acceleration Projects, the GIZ Digital Skills Project, the UNDP Strage e-learning management system projects, the World Bank e-transform project, the SADA Enterprise Management Systems, and the project to develop and deploy an inventory management software for the National Food Buffer Stock Company. He was also a member of the team that implemented the GIFEC Youth mobile projects in 10 selected senior high schools in Ghana, in which students were introduced to Android program. This very afternoon, my name is Steve. I want to introduce Mr. Kegu, who will be our guest for our tech webinar. Wherever you are, please continue to share the link. There's an informative discussion that we'll be having. He will be presenting for, I think, 20 to 30 minutes, and he will open an opportunity for you to just ask any question that which you may be having or facing. So please don't worry. When he's presenting, don't be in a rush to talk or raise your hand. Let him finish his presentation. If you have any questions or anything, just put it in the chat comment section. So Mr. Kegu, please, if you can hear us, please, over to you, sir. Joe Latte.
Thank you, Stephen. Hello, Stephen. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Yeah, so I guess my audience can hear me. Thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you for showing up. So as he has said, we'll be looking at artificial intelligence and machine learning, transforming business operations and its effect on employment. Can you see my screen, please?
Yes, we can see it.
Yes, please, we can.
So thank you. Yeah, thank you. So we want to look at this topic to see how artificial intelligence is transforming businesses and the effect it has on employment. So in 2023, almost everybody would have heard of artificial intelligence or might have encountered any software or any operation that involves the use of artificial intelligence and then machine learning and all the other subsets of artificial intelligence. So before we continue, I would just want us to have a brief understanding of what artificial intelligence is. So human beings have intelligence in many ways, but anything that is not from humans, especially if it's coming from machines, when machines are trying to mimic what human beings do in terms of intelligence, then we say that it is artificial. So here, if we want to talk about artificial intelligence in terms of software, we are talking of any computer software that engages in human-like activities. So when you have to ask machines to learn and do planning and problem solving for you, any software that does that will be considered as an artificial intelligence software or application. And in this age, by now, most of us, if not all of us, would have had an encounter with an artificial intelligence application in one form or the other. So today we are just trying to look at how this can be implemented or applied in businesses and how it is transforming businesses and the effect that it has on employment. But mostly when we talk about artificial intelligence, people are saying, oh, these are machines that have been given intelligence and they are going to take up our work. And very soon, human beings will not have work to do and the rest. So some people may not even want to get closer to it and the others. But maybe by the time we go through this, you would have realized that artificial intelligence is rather creating other job opportunities and bringing up new skills that if you scale up and probably you are interested in that area, you want to apply it to your business and also do a lot of other things with this. It's a bigger space. The ecosystem is big enough that to accommodate a lot of people. So in continuation, we want to look at some quotes that practitioners and people who have come close to or have been using artificial intelligence have for us. So we'll look at them. So someone says AI is like electricity. Just as electricity transformed every major industry a century ago, AI is now poised to do the same. Now we've had the industrial revolution, and without electricity, what we do now, you're saying that companies are industrialized, countries are industrialized, and the rest. Without electricity, those form of industrialization wouldn't have happened. Today, the same thing is being done using AI. The way countries grew with industries, it is being done today with AI. So a lot of work is being done and a lot of things can be done with AI. If you really want to be seen as a developed country or a nation or a group of people. Then there is another quote. Artificial intelligence will have a more profound impact on humanity than fire, electricity, and the internet. Let's look at what fire does for us. Is it possible for us to do most of the things we do without fire? Cooking, eating, and the rest. Electricity, and of late in Ghana, for instance, the internet. So most of the things we do, we depend on things like this to survive. Sundar Pichai is saying that artificial intelligence is similar to what fire and electricity and the internet is doing for us at this moment. So if you really want to be part of the ecosystem, then we should have knowledge about artificial intelligence and also use it in our day-to-day activities. More quotes. Artificial intelligence, deep learning, machine learning, whatever you are doing, if you don't understand it, learn it. because otherwise you are going to be a dinosaur within 3 years. So the rate at which the world is moving with artificial intelligence, if you decide to be left out and not have any knowledge, and also its usage within the shortest possible time, you may not be able to do most of the things that you've been doing. Or even if you are doing it, others who are doing it, your competitors will be far ahead of you, and your business may not be able to catch up. The last quote: if we want to address grand challenges facing society, we need to unleash the full power of AI through ambitious research and solid scientific engineering. So with all the problems that the world is facing, most of them can be solved using artificial intelligence. So research and work in that needs to be done. But the question is, how many of us are ready to do those things? Probably this part of the world, people who are superstitious, things that are done, instead of them researching and working hard to know what it is, they think of it in the form of superstition. So most of the things that happen, because we are uninformed in such areas, we blame it on superstition, and we do not want to go close to it. Let's see how we can demystify some of those things, and then use AI in our businesses, and also take up the challenge in doing things in the AI ecosystem. So in business, we've been having e-commerce and retail, which of late e-commerce is picking up in Ghana. How do we use artificial intelligence to benefit us? If you are in the e-commerce space or in retail, you realize that demand for a particular product is not constant. Usually it fluctuates and also has seasons. How are we able to use artificial intelligence to help us so that in seasons where there is high demand for certain products or services, how do we use artificial intelligence to do that? So with artificial intelligence, if you have data and you use artificial intelligence algorithm to create models for it, you are able to do a lot of forecasting and prediction to be able to determine how demand will be. Because if you have the data over a period, analyzing it through a number of analytic means, you'll be able to do a lot of forecasting. And probably if you are creating machine learning models, you'll be able to use it to predict demand for a specific period of the year. If you're able to do prediction of demand, then you are able to control your inventory and then your supply chain. So for instance, you know that I am into this particular product, and we are in August. In September, there will be high demand for it. Using the data that you have, you are able to forecast, and you can say that in September, we are likely to have this demand, this amount of demand for product A, B, or C. So in that case, the best thing you will do is, based on the data, the decision will be to make sure that your inventory, your stock is at a level that when the demand is up, you will not run out of stock. You are able to supply, and in doing that, you make optimal profits as compared to if there were no data, or you had the data but you are not analyzing it or using any form of artificial intelligence to be able to predict or forecast what the demand would be. One other thing too that you can do in this space too is personalized experiences and offers. So as customers or clients patronize your services and your products, each of them have specific needs. So you are able to say that, let's take Accra, for instance, the people around Medina in October will usually want to have this kind of product. Or for specific group of people, these are the kind of product they want at this time. So you are able to personalize what they are looking for and then give it to them as and when they need it. By so doing, they are happy with your services and will stick to your product and your services. And whilst you analyze your data and do predictions, you are able to even recommend to your clients the kind of products that may be of interest to them. All this could be done easily if you are using any form of artificial intelligence tools to be able to predict what the next move will be, and also when you are analyzing the data that you have. In the area of banking, we know that banking has it's a high risk business. So if you are in that sector, one way you can benefit using artificial intelligence is risk assessment and fraud detection. So with a large amount of data before you, just using the normal tools that we have may not be enough for you to be able to assess the risk level of particular clients, and also when specific transactions are being fraudulent. But with artificial intelligence, you are able to detect patterns in transactions that in the past were fraudulent. So when a client comes and presents data to you, you can just pass that same data through your artificial intelligence model, which would have been trained on past data. And it is able to indicate that this particular transaction or this particular client, the data that is being presented is a fraudulent data, or the transaction may become a fraudulent transaction. For risk assessment, for instance, somebody is applying for loan and has a pattern or data that the person is presenting. If you pass it through your artificial intelligence models, which have been trained on previous data, it's able to tell you that this particular transaction is a risky one, and that you may not want to go into that particular transaction. Now, in Ghana, a number of our banks are using that to do business. So I'm bringing this one because probably you think that, oh, this one is just far away from us. So I've intentionally brought examples or use cases of banks that a few banks that I know are already using this technology, their businesses, and how it is enhancing their businesses. So ABSA has a chatbot where if you have any question or any interaction you want to have with the bank, sometimes even at night or whatever time, you have the opportunity to just have a chat with the chatbot. And the chatbot gives you responses as if it was a human being sitting behind a computer or a human being using a phone talking to you. One other advantage here is that the human being may not be in the mood and may not speak to you in a way that you'll be happy, but the chatbot will never do that for you. So we could implement things like this in our businesses, such that it will eliminate some form of human interaction, so that our clients will be satisfied at all times with the services and products that we offer them. Then we also have EcoBank also using artificial intelligence in their operation. GCB Bank also has one that is helping them in serving their customers on banking transactions such as balance inquiry, fund transfer, and bill payments through a conversational interface. So with the chatbot, you are able to converse with the chatbot as if you were talking to a human being. You ask your question and then you are giving responses. Remember, I've just said that with these chatbots, which are based on artificial intelligence, they are not going to be in a bad mood to give you an answer that will annoy you or will not make you happy. But you're always going to get a positive feedback that will always make you happy. Now, with so from the source that I picked this, it is said that when GCB, for instance, introduced this, it led to a 30% increase in mobile banking transactions. And this is an area that people would have been a bit skeptical because they would think that it may not be that safe. But with the chatbot and AI tools, with the interaction that people have, they are convinced that it is a good way of transacting business, and that led to that increase. If you want to apply same to our businesses, we have an example over here. Then in agriculture, it is also being used in Ghana here. So there's a platform called Agro Center, which uses AI algorithms to provide real-time marketplaces. So farmers have products and they are selling. If you're on this platform, you have who has the product, what is the cost of it, and where it is in real time. And that one too, it is said that it has enabled over 20,000 farmers to increase their yields and income by up to about 50%. So if you are also in any form of business which is related to this or even different, GCB has seen a 30% increase in their mobile banking transactions. And then in agriculture too, we are seeing a 50% increase in yields and income. What will stop you from doing same? You are surely going to have a positive impact on it is going to have a positive impact on your business if you really want to be part of the new. It is not that new anyway, but it's new in that part of the world, so we'll say it's new. In healthcare, for instance, artificial intelligence is being used for doing so many things, like in diagnostics of diseases. We know that certain diseases are difficult to diagnose with a human doctor. So you have certain ailments that is difficult to diagnose, but with artificial intelligence, it is easy to be diagnosed. So for instance, you go for an X-ray, a human being has to read it and tell you whether you have a fracture or not. Assuming this human being who is a doctor has an eye problem and is not able to read well, or any other factor that is preventing him or from reading well. There are artificial intelligence tools that can be used to read this for you and to have accurate results for you. There are so many of them. Even if the human being can read it so well, how many can the human being read in a day? So if there were so many patients suffering from particular ailments, they will have to depend on one particular doctor to do this. But with AI, this can be done in a short time. And personalized medication. People have different levels of responses to medication. But with AI, what data would have been collected and analyzed over a period of time. When you go to the hospital, for instance, and you are diagnosed of a particular ailment, based on diagnosis, it can be run through a machine learning model, and that can easily help in personalizing the kind of medication that should be given to you. And with data being analyzed, you are able to segregate specific ailments or outbreak of diseases over a period of time or for specific areas or segments of the country or of a city or of a location. Then we can also talk about telemedicine and remote monitoring. With AI, which in some way is being done in Ghana, because there are not much doctors, if we implement telemedicine and do it well, you have AI systems that can help you in diagnosing diseases. And also, even if you have to be attended to by a doctor, the doctor can observe a patient remotely to know whether the patient is responding to the prescribed medications or not. So the actions can be taken if there is the need. So we could implement things like this in our business depending on the area that we find ourselves. So as an example of its implementation in Ghana, mPharma has developed an AI-powered inventory management system for pharmacies, which uses predictive analytics to forecast drug demand and optimize inventory level. So with this, they are able to determine that we are going to run out of stock for this particular medicine around this time. So they restock, because as we all know, much of the medicines that we even use in Ghana are not produced here. But if they do not have data or they are not aware of the stock levels and they cannot predict, a time will come, there will be a need or there will be demand for specific medicines and they will not be able to supply them. Now, when it comes to education, if you have a business in that area, you could use artificial intelligence to personalize learning. So in this situation where we have a lot of students in our secondary schools, for instance, the teacher to student ratio is very low. So to be able to pay attention to specific students, especially those who are weak in certain areas, if there were artificial intelligence tools that could be done, so that data would have been captured, analyzed, and predictive models developed for students who fall in certain categories. So you are able to segregate the students or break them into segments to know that this kind of student will learn in this using this particular approach, and this group of students will also learn using this particular approach. But as at now, we do not have much of that in the country. But as we get to know about them, we can implement them to benefit us in the country. One other area that we can also use to enhance our businesses, if we were in education, it's automated grading. So instead of spending so much time trying to grade our learners, artificial intelligence tools could be used for doing that. Then we can also implement virtual assistants and chatbots once again in our learning. So students have issues about specific topics with data in that area. The students can just sit behind their computers and be talking to the computer using a chatbot as if they were having someone at the other end doing the response for them. In so doing, much of the problems that students face will be taken out. And let's also remember that here you are talking to a machine, so you have the freedom to ask one question as many times as you want. You are not talking to a human being where he or she at the point will become fed up with the questions you are asking, because you just asked me what is 2 plus 2. I told you. And you go and come back in the next 5 minutes. You're asking me what is 2 plus 2. Human beings, have emotions. So at a point, they will become fed up with whatever you are asking them to do, especially if it is so repeated. It's repeating so much. Then we are also able to analyze data and predict the performance of our students or our learners based on data that has been collected if we were using machine learning models. So you are able to predict that this student, based on past data that we have, is likely to perform well or not. And then you look for ways to mitigate that if the person is not going to perform well. So this have been done, implemented in a number of ways where people are using to learn languages. So I've just indicated 3 of them, of the tools that people are using to learn languages. And there's some of them to act as marketplaces where you could teach languages if you want to. So tool like Tandem, it's a marketplace where you can easily find people to teach you languages, and you can also use it to learn a new language if you so want to. So we'll be talking about this. We have said about the good things about it. The advantages, some of them have been said already, so let's look at it once again. So with artificial intelligence and machine learning, if you implement it in your business, you have increased competitiveness and you have market growth. Because the thing is that with data, you are able to make good business decisions. And once you make good business decisions, that is also going to lead into growth. For instance, you know the right amount of inventory to maintain at specific time. Let's remember that to maintain inventory or stock, we still have to pay for that. So if you have too many items in stock, keeping them or the space to keep them, you have to pay for that. Or if we're providing a specific service, you know when that service will be demanded, so you prepare towards it. That is a business decision to be made. So with data available to you and with machine learning tools, you are able to decide when a particular service will be required or when a particular product will be required. So you take good business decisions. And also, you are able to engage your customers to know whether they are satisfied with your product or services. So you are having an interaction with a chatbot, and because the person who is interacting with the chatbot is not seeing a human being or somebody I know, he or she is able to give you data that probably might not be given to a human being, because this is somebody I had met at the banking hall before or I met at the shop. So if I say this, he might not be happy. So I polish it in a way. But if it is a machine that I'm talking to, I say everything that I like. And by so doing, they get data on how customers feel on the products and services they provide. And that will lead to an improved customer service and customer satisfaction. These are some of the few advantages that we want to talk about. Then what are the challenges and concerns? In our part of the world now, we have limited infrastructure. So to be able to do all what we had mentioned so far, we need some form of infrastructure. How many of us are able to transact some of these businesses or connect to our banks or any other service provider if we want to do so, if you move outside Accra or the so-called cities in this country? And there's limited infrastructure to do that. And even if you are in Accra or in a city where you have those some of those infrastructure, how many people are able to acquire devices to be used for that? The other big issue, which to me is the biggest, is data availability and quality. I mentioned what could be done with artificial intelligence in education, in healthcare, and the rest. But the question is, if you go to, let's say, the Ministry of Education right now, and you say you are looking for data on pupils' performance or whatever for the past 10 years, it will take you the next 10 years, you may not get it because the bureaucracy is one, and sometimes it's unavailability. Where it is even available, the quality of the data, it is not something that you may be able to use for all the things that we are saying. You may not be able to use it for any predictive analysis or you using it to develop any machine learning model, which you can use for prediction to be able to say, oh, students from this background or from this area or from this segment of the society behave in this manner. And so based on this data, someone from the same area or someone with this similar characteristic is likely to have this performance. The data may not be there, but where you even find something, its quality may not be useful. I have had the opportunity to work with some hospital data before, and what I was given, it was not something that I could use for any meaningful thing. So I had to throw it away along the line. Then the next thing is the skills and the expertise. How many people do we find in our space who are knowledgeable enough and are ready to go into that? So if you have the interest to do it, you might not find people who are having the necessary skills and expertise to do that. But that should not stop us from trying to do it. We'll surely find a few ones here. Then there are ethical considerations and bias in AI algorithms, data privacy and security implications. So these days, everywhere you go, data is being collected. Most of them could be used for doing this. But the question is, are they protecting your privacy? What about your security? A few days ago, the Data Protection Commission had to go to a few institutions to arrest them for breach of data and the privacy of the data of people whose data they are having. They did a few things which they need not to have done, but they did that. So if data is collected about you and not used the proper way, how is it going to be handled? But we have said that we need data to be able to do all this. Then the other thing is cost and return on investment. So one other challenge is that as we are saying that it's a good thing, and if it's not implemented well, the cost that is involved, you might not have a good return on the investment that you make. But that should not be a deterrent. We should continue working on it and we'll surely get there. So in most cases, when we talk about AI, we say that they are coming to take away our work. But what we should know is that if we implement AI systems, or with the advent of AI, new job roles are coming up. So some are being killed, or some job roles will be lost, or some jobs will be lost. But there are others which are coming up, which used not to be. So things like AI architect, machine learning engineer, data scientists, and AI consultants were not there some years ago. But these days, those are jobs that you see people being sought after in such areas. Then there's also the need for reskilling and upskilling the workforce that we have. So if you are in a space that does not involve any of this, you do not have knowledge in this, and you want to be relevant, you may want to go into some of these, acquire the skills, and then you'll be useful in that area. One other thing is that if you are in this space, you mostly have job satisfaction, but most people are not satisfied in the kind of jobs they are doing now. But as it is, I'm yet to meet anyone who is in this space. The person says that I'm not satisfied with the kind of work I do because it is so repetitive that every day I do almost the same thing and I'm not happy with it. I'm tired of doing those things. But in a space like this, you have things that are so fluid, and so you have new things all the time. So these are things we can consider. Thank you. Now we want to go to questions, if you have any.
Great. Thank you so much, Mr. Kegu. That was very impactful and enlightening. I mean, for me, I was taking some notes how AI has been influential when it comes to education, health-wise, even agric, and other sectors. Yes, thank you so much. So those of us who just joined, you are too late, but don't worry. There will be a provision for the video. We are recording the video. So after this very webinar, you can check out on YouTube, Ofiana ICT. We will upload a video there. So please, if you are here, you have any questions, I think we're going to do 2 or 3. Just raise your hand and then I will mute you. Any questions? Any questions? Going? Gone. Okay. While you prepare your questions, I want to take this opportunity to introduce to you. Oh, someone is asking a question. Okay. So someone is asking, Perry. Perry wants to know what is required of a new person who wants to venture into AI, Mr. Kegu?
So is the person venturing into AI to use in his or a business? So if you want to use it in your business, then what you do is to start collecting data and on the business that you do, so that over time you will be able to analyze it and use it for machine learning model creation. But without data, your AI cannot do anything. So if you are in, let's say, in a particular sector, let's say agriculture, the kind of business you do might be a bit different from what the other person does. So if that person has data and has used it to create, let's say, a machine learning model, it might not suit yours. What you need to do is collect data on what you are doing and then analyze it and also use it to create machine learning models for your predictions. But if that is not what he means, but maybe he wants to go into it as a profession and the rest, then you can talk to Steven and Kofi Annan's IT Center have courses on that. So you can enroll to become an AI professional or a data analyst, a data analytics professional. Now, somebody too is talking about what is the relationship between AI and IoT, Internet of Things. So with Internet of Things, you are basically collecting data using everything that's available to you. So you may have devices that attach to animals, for instance. Let's say cattle, if you are an animal farmer. So as a cattle move, you can collect data on how the distance they move in a day, the amount of food they eat, and all other things that you can collect about them, their temperature and the rest. Then when you use IoT technologies to collect the data, then you can use AI and AI tools to analyze it and also develop machine learning models for you to be able to say, okay, so if you have a cow of this age, of this gender, it can eat this much of food, or it can travel this distance without water, and so forth and so on. Or the kind of diseases that may affect them and the rest. You can use the IoT to collect the data and AI to analyze and do prediction on that. The next one that I'm seeing is, should one have a particular qualification before attempting to learn anything on AI or machine learning? The answer to me is no. You can have any qualification that you have. It is the interest. Once you can read and write, and everybody can think. So once you can read and write, it is the interest. As you go into it, you will learn to acquire more knowledge. So you don't need specific qualifications to be able to do that. Remember, it shouldn't be for only those who probably did, let's say, engineering or science. No, in all aspects of life, you can do AI, can implement AI if you understand the domain. So, for instance, it will not be easy for me. I have to go and learn from, let's say, the musician and or the banker or the teacher, if I am not in that space, to be able to develop models for them. I need to understand the data, so I have to ask questions. So this one, how do you do it? Why this and that? But if, let's say, the teacher or the musician was doing it himself or herself, by acquiring the knowledge on how to do it, then he or she will apply it in that field. It will be better and faster compared to someone who does not understand that domain. You are now going to learn and ask questions before you be able to do that. So anyone from any field should be able to do machine learning if he or she is interested. All you need to do is to just take up the necessary courses and learn what is needed, and then you apply it in your area.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Kegu. I hope all your answers have been given to you. Quick one. I just want to share this flyer. So please, we'll be having data analytics class starting from the 11th of September 2023. It's just for 2 months. So what you do is you pay your registration fee of 200 cedis, and then you pay your fee, which is 2,000 cedis. If you're on this platform and you want to register, please, I can give you a discount of 1 cedi. So you can call the number and tell them that Steve said you are supposed to pay 1,999 cedis. Don't worry, I'll pay the 1 cedi for you. So please, I'm giving you a discount. Just tell them that Steve said we will give you a discount of 1 cedi. So please, it's very educative, very intense, just 2 months. Just take a leave, or it could be anything, enroll in our data analysis, and then be a professional. So please, the numbers are 055 666 0355. I'll take it again, 055 666 0355. So please, if you're on this platform, the fee instead of 2,000, I'm saying it's 1,999. And your registration fee too is 199 cedis. Don't worry. I'm that nice and very kind. So please, if you call the number 055-666-0355, tell them that Steve is giving me a discount of 2 cedis for my registration and also for my fee as well. So please don't forget, starting on the 11th of September 2023. Also, we have a robotics processing automation class that you can have 30% for early registration. So please, if you are thinking of enhancing your operation in your office, you can gain a hands-on technology experience. So there's no need for you to involve more of humans. You can just automate literally everything, and then the system will just help you to make things effortlessly and very efficient as well. So please, it's also starting on the 11th of September. The fee is 3,500. You can't get this fee on any market. On top of that, you are giving a 30% discount. So please, for this, I can vouch. I can put my neck on this on that place and tell them that Steve says I have 30%. Don't worry, Ubo Media Ubenya discount. So please, for 30% discount early registration, just call the number 055 666 0355. I'll take the number again, please. Write it somewhere and call. You can call just after this webinar. 055-666-0355. Tell them Steve said I have a 30% discount off. So please, that's why I'm calling. And it starts on the 11th of September. So next month on the 11th, we'll be having our class on robotic processing automation. And if you're also wondering, you have a niece, you have a nephew in the house, you have a child who after the BEC or SHS, person doesn't have anything doing, he's just eating and sleeping. You're realizing that Kweku was like 40 kg. Now Kogo is like 80. So ODD as an order, please take this advantage and enroll your ward or your sibling or your niece or whoever, your relative, in our digital skills and programming basics. So we'll be teaching them everything about PowerPoint, MS Word, Excel, online essentials, programming, coding, Python. Please, this is an opportunity for them. So if you know of any DEC graduate or any SHS students, please, this is an opportunity. Call the same number. And when you call, the fee is very, 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 very cheap, extremely cheap for 3 weeks. You're just paying 600 cedis. That's for level 1. 600 cedis. Very cheap. People you force or so for just 600 cedis for 3 weeks. You can reduce the size of that your niece or nephew from 80 kg to 30. Just steady. Make good use of the opportunity they have at home. Don't let them watch Netflix and all that. Please enroll them in our digital skills and programming basics. It's for them, please. It's better to help them to learn the basics before they enroll in SHS or even in the university. Create that foundation for them, please. They are future leaders. And also, someone is asking something in our chats. Please hold on. Someone is asking, is the data analysis class an in-person session or online? Okay, so for now it's in-person. For now it's in-person. But with time, maybe we are going to give you much information regarding the online option. But for now it's in-person, so please locate or search your Google map, type Ghana India Professional Center of Excellence in ICT. We are reached next to the Ministry of Communication and also adjacent to the Parliament House or the Council of State. So you just put in your Google map or you call the Uber driver, tell him Ghana India Professional Center of Excellence to bring it here. So please, it's in person for now. Someone is saying that so 2,550, yes. Yes. For which one, please, if you can come again. Next question, is there a package for those in Northern Region? Package, as in what? Northern Region, as in you want to join in person or you want to come down? We don't have accommodation, so we don't have accommodation for people who are coming from other regions. So please, everything will be done. You can go to Bolga. We have a branch at Bolga. So please, we have 3 branches. So if you are finding yourself in maybe around the region of Brona Hafo, we have a branch at Sunyani. All you have to do is to just call this number 055 When you call, someone will be there to give you much information about how you can reach anyone at Bolga. So if you're in the northern region, we have someone at the Bolga to help you out. So if there is any package you're asking, please call the number. We have a branch. You just have to go to Bolga to get this skill that you're asking. Next question, robotic processing automation, question marks. Call the number, I'll give you answers to it. Do you have weekend data analysis? For now, yes, we do have. We do have weekend. So please, if you're thinking of enrolling because you're very busy from Monday to Friday, we have your own work and you're thinking of just using the weekends to learn more about data analytics, this is the platform you can use. We have weekend classes for anyone if you're busy or whatsoever. Please just call the number. And it's also in the evening because maybe you'll be going for a funeral, you'll be going for your weddings, your naming ceremony, so you can't come during the morning. This is an opportunity for you to utilize your Saturday evening or Sunday evening. So please just call the number. Someone will be on standby to give you all the information you may be needing to help you gain this particular certification of data analysis. Someone is also asking, can you highlight on how AI and machine learning can be used in environmental management? So what we do is, don't worry, Mr. Kegu will be on standby. You can call the number and then he will help you out with any other standby questions. I'm not the expert. If I give you an answer, you might be very disappointed. Someone is also saying that for processing automation, the data or the discount is 30%, meaning 2004. Yes, yes. So please just call the number. The discount is there. I can promise you we can give you. Someone is asking me to share the number. So please just call this number 055-666-035. I'll just put it in the chat so that you don't have to ask this question again. So I'm putting in the 666-0355. You can call this number and then your life will never be the same, as we say it in churches. So please, the number is in there 055-666-0355. So please, again, you can also check our social media platform for any updates or any questions. So we normally post everything that we want to do, upcoming courses or anything. Just log on to your Facebook, your Instagram, your Twitter, your Thread, any platform, any social media platform, and search for Kofi Annan ICT. When you search, you type Kofi Annan ICT, you'll see a very nice logo in the AITI. Please, that's our page. You can like and follow on YouTube. Try and subscribe so that this video will be uploaded. Maybe your friend or your brother or your sister couldn't join us. The video will be in there so that you can just send the link. And please, when you send the link, remember to share the link. So you share the link so that it will be a blessing for them to also study and be imparted when it comes to AI and machine learning. Being your regular host, my name is Steve. We'll catch you very soon, probably the next 2 weeks. We have a very exciting topic and we bring in an expert who is well versed. I don't want to give you the heads up, so please, it was very nice, it was very impactful. So please, thank you so much for joining us. We are here each and every time. We are the Ghana Indian Kofi Annan Center of Excellence. When it comes to IT in Ghana, we are the premier and we are the best. So please, if you need anything IT, if you're thinking of any IT courses, it being cybersecurity, Microsoft Office productivity, coding, Python, Cisco, Oracle, name it, anything IT, we are the best place for you. So please call the number. I'll take it for the very last time. 055-666-0355. I'll take it for the very last time. 055-666-0355. Call us. Someone will be on standby to help you, to guide you, to help you. Maybe you're wondering which particular path you have to take when it comes to the IT world. Our registrar, our advisor, our supervisor, our counselor will be there to help you out. Thank you so much, Timer. We hope to see you next 2 weeks. Check our social media platforms for any upcoming tech webinar. It's very free, so please spread the gospel, spread the news, and share the link when we are ready. Thank you so much. See you soon. Bye for now, everyone.